Swoopes as Caitlin Clark is the all-time, whatever it is. I don't even know what the number is, but that's the way it'll be.
Larry Bird doesn't speak up often, but when he does, it echoes. In a rare and fiery interview, the basketball legend has unleashed his thoughts, and this time, Sheryl Swoopes is in the crossfire. All of it ties back to Caitlin Clark, a name that's been making waves on and off the court. What could drive Bird, a man known for letting his game do the talking, to step in so boldly? Why is Swoopes caught in the crosshairs? The story goes deeper than just a debate. It's a clash of generations, legacies, and perspectives. Sheryl Swoopes' comments. What did she actually say? Sheryl Swoopes, one of the greatest WNBA players of all time, recently made some bold comments about Caitlin Clark, and they didn't sit well with a lot of fans. In a recent interview, Swoopes seemed to question whether Caitlin Clark truly deserved all the attention she was getting. Now, let's be real. Caitlin Clark has been lighting up college basketball. She's breaking records left and right, pulling up from deep like Steph Curry, and bringing a whole new level of excitement to the game. But Swoopes didn't seem completely sold on all the hype. She pointed out that there have been plenty of talented women's basketball players before Clark who never got this kind of media attention. She talked about how other WNBA legends put up insane numbers, yet never got the same level of recognition. Was she wrong? Well, that depends on how you look at it. On one hand, she made a fair point. Women's basketball has been around for a long time, and players like Lisa Leslie, Maya Moore, and even Swoopes herself have done incredible things. But on the other hand, Clark's talent is undeniable. She's not just good, she's changing the game. Then there's the issue of media coverage. Swoopes seemed to suggest that the media was giving Clark special treatment. Some people took this as a subtle way of saying, Clark's popularity has something to do with the fact that she's white. And let's be honest, that's a conversation that has come up a lot in sports. Are black players being overlooked? Are white players getting extra shine? It's a tough topic, but it's one that keeps coming up. After her comments, the sports world exploded. Some people completely agreed with her. They said, "Finally, someone is saying what we've all been thinking." Others, though, thought she was just hating on Clark. They felt like instead of celebrating a rising star, she was trying to tear her down. Social media was on fire. Some fans backed Swoopes, saying that black women in sports don't get enough credit. Others thought she was being unfair and that Caitlin Clark had earned every bit of her success. And then came Larry Bird. And let me tell you, when Larry speaks, people listen. Larry Bird's response. Larry Bird is not the type to jump into drama. But when he does, oh, you know it's serious. And this time, he had something to say. In a recent interview, Bird was asked about the Caitlin Clark situation. Now, if you know Bird, you know he doesn't sugarcoat things. He speaks his mind, and he speaks it straight. He didn't call out Sheryl Swoopes by name, but he didn't have to. His words were crystal clear. He said Caitlin Clark is one of the best shooters he's ever seen. Coming from Larry Bird, the guy who dominated the NBA with his deadly shooting, that's a huge statement. Bird also talked about how hard Clark works. He mentioned that she's not just talented, but she puts in the time, the effort, and the dedication. He said she deserves all the credit she's getting, not because of the media, not because of anything else, but because she's earning it every single night on the court. And then came the knockout punch. Bird said that great players should be celebrated, no matter who they are. He made it clear that Caitlin Clark isn't just a good player, she's a game changer. And trying to downplay that? That's just not right. After Bird's words, the conversation started to shift. People who had been on the fence started to see things differently. When someone of Bird's status speaks, it carries weight. He's not just some random analyst, he's one of the greatest basketball players of all time. And if he says Clark is legit, well, that's something you can't just ignore. Fans loved his response. They felt like he stood up for Caitlin without getting messy. He didn't attack anyone. He didn't create drama. He just spoke the truth. And that's why people respect Larry Bird so much. But this whole situation brought up an even bigger conversation. One that goes beyond just Caitlin Clark. Is there a double standard? Now, let's get real for a second. Is there a double standard in women's basketball? Do white players like Caitlin Clark get more attention than black players who have been doing the same thing for years? It's a question that a lot of people are asking. Some say yes, absolutely. They argue that players like Ariko Gunbowale, Chennedy Carter, and even Angel Reese have put up crazy numbers, but never got this kind of national love. But others say that Caitlin Clark's popularity has nothing to do with race. They argue that she's just that good, and people love to watch her play. They say she's bringing a different kind of excitement, kind of like what Steph Curry did in the NBA. So, what's the truth? Well, it's complicated. The media does play a role in shaping narratives. Some players get hyped up more than others, and sometimes it's not just about talent, it's about timing, personality, and how well a player connects with fans. But here's the thing. Greatness is greatness. And Caitlin Clark is proving that she belongs in the conversation of all-time greats. Another big part of this discussion is how legends shape the way we see the game. When a player like Larry Bird speaks up, it influences how people think. His words carry so much weight because he's been there, he's dominated, he knows what it takes to be great. And this is why the support of past legends is so important. Players like Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, Paige Buchers, and others are building the future of women's basketball. And instead of tearing them down, the legends of the game should be lifting them up. This whole situation is bigger than just Caitlin Clark. It's about how we celebrate greatness. It's about giving credit where it's due, no matter who the player is. And it's about making sure the next generation of stars, no matter their race, no matter their background, get the respect they deserve. So, after all this, where do we go from here? One thing is clear. Caitlin Clark isn't going anywhere. She's going to keep breaking records, keep putting up ridiculous numbers, and keep proving why she's one of the best in the game. Larry Bird made sure to remind everyone that talent speaks for itself. And no matter what the media says, no matter what debates pop up, the one thing that will always matter most is what happens on the court. At the end of the day, sports should be about celebrating greatness. Whether it's Caitlin Clark, Sheryl Swoopes, Angel Reese, or any other player, we should be lifting them up instead of tearing them down. But now, I want to hear from you. What do you think? Was Larry Bird right to defend Caitlin Clark? Or do you agree with Sheryl Swoopes that the media is playing favorites? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and let's keep the conversation going. If you enjoyed this video and want to stay updated on more moments like this, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a beat. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a beat. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.
Did the USA basketball make the right move?
I think they whiffed here. I completely believe they lost a golden opportunity.
Everybody knows that the reason why our teams around the league are having sellouts are because Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever are coming to town.
Would Caitlin step in if a player is too injured to play?
But if there is a player on that roster that's too injured to play and they call you, what would your reaction be?
Yeah, I think it would be a great opportunity. A lot of ifs, so my main focus is on the Fever.
If they bring Caitlin into the team, they're going to dominate the scoreboard.
You put Caitlin Clark, you put Angel Reese, and you put Cameron Brink.
Yep.
Bare minimum, you put those three. All three of them are superstars. You put three of them on a team, and when you're beating a team by 50, which you eventually will be beating a team by 50, you let them go in there and ball out. Yeah. Like, this is a no-brainer to grow. There are girls on this team that are 41 years old. Yeah. Right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. How many Olympics have that 41-year-old? I think 5 or 6. Get
Off the team.
Yeah. Get off the team.
She was the one when they were doing she was the one hating on Caitlin. They were doing like a simulcast of one of the Final Four games.
Man, shut your ass up.
Like, she's not going to be that good in the pros. These are grown women she's going against. It's not going to be
Get off the team, yo.
Stop in hating, you old piss over. Go home.
Caitlin Clark is the reason why the tickets are sold out.
And I don't know that I quite understand the question, in that everybody knows that the reason why our teams around the league are having sellouts are because Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever are coming to town. Angel Reese has impacted their attendance at the Chicago games, I suspect on the road as well. So what the league can do is be ready to capitalize on the moments.
USA Basketball missed out on a golden opportunity.
Did the USA Basketball make the right move?
I think they whiffed here. I completely believe they lost a golden opportunity. You could have got one of those 12 spots. Now look, every woman on that team is deserving. And there are also other women out there who didn't get picked who are deserving.
Caitlin Clark deserves to be part of the USA Basketball team.
And I think Caitlin Clark is one of them. If you're going to go with the meritocracy argument, we could chalk up a ton of stuff. But the undeniable thing about Caitlin Clark is how popular she is, how many eyeballs she has brought to the sport. People are discovering women's basketball for the first time, for many, many people, because of Caitlin Clark. She would have been a boon for this Olympic team. Look, this is a sport. It is a game. Brian, it's also a business. You know that better than anybody. It is a business. This would have meant so much for the ratings of the women's Olympic basketball stuff, all of it.
So a couple of things, Michelle. If you're USA Basketball, and you feel pressure because the women are the best in the world, just like the men. I think they won 9 gold medals already. They've only lost 3 games ever. And you don't want to be that coach to get knocked out early, and maybe because you put somebody on there that isn't the top 12 in the world. So far, she's averaged 16 points a game as a pro, 6 assists, 5 rebounds, making 37% of her shots. Solid start, but remember, and you live this, but I was covering it too, UConn basketball, the best player in college basketball, Rebecca Lobo. She was never a dominant in the WNBA. Sometimes you reach your peak in college. She hasn't shown that she's among the best pros yet.
Are you saying her performance the other night with 30 points and 7 threes to tie a rookie record does not show that she's a promising pro? I don't buy it. I just don't. And again, you can sit her on the pine. You can have her the 12th person on your roster. People will still tune in to see if she gets on that floor, to see if she gets to play. These women on the U.S. team are so dominant that you can win with almost any 12 that they decided to pick. So if you want the eyeballs that you say that you want, that you've been asking for decades, if you want the support, you want the boost to this game that you say that you want, then you put the most popular, but not only because she's the most popular, Brian, she's one of the best players on the planet. You do not lose anything by putting her on this roster.
All right, I will say this. People have brought up this analogy. Christian Laettner was put on the Dream Team, even though he was the best player in college basketball. Shaq was left off of it. Alonzo Mourning was left off. They put Laettner on to develop him. They wanted to have a developing player to play with Jordan and Bird and Magic. A lot of people criticize that. That's what this would have been. Final thought?
Well, maybe it would have been that. I would contend that, men's basketball was already popular. You didn't need Christian Laettner. Women's game needs this woman.
There are reasons why Caitlin Clark is not able to join the USA team.
Why do you think she's been left off the team?
I'm working on that story, Don. I did report in my piece that's on usatoday.com out there, of course, now, that I have 2 sources, impeccable sources, who said that they had heard from various people that a concern was that if Caitlin was put on the team but only got a few minutes of playing time, which would be logical for a rookie on a great team that last lost in 1992, best, most dominant team in sports, what U.S. women's basketball team hasn't lost since 92. If she only got a little playing time, that all of her fans would be upset and would be, I guess, just storming the gates and on radio shows and on social media. I couldn't believe my ears that was a discussion topic in the meetings about the reaction to Caitlin Clark. So I'm working on that. I'm trying to get that pinned down, but those 2 sources are impeccable. And I'm trying to figure out what was going on. And is it a situation where we heard chilly comments, Dawn, from, as we talked about, Diana Taurasi and Breanna Stewart at the women's Final Four? I asked Diana Taurasi's agent point blank, can you point me to anything positive she's ever said about Caitlin Clark? Never heard back, gave the agent a week to reply. And both of those women are on the team. I'm not saying that anyone in particular is doing this, but as a journalist, it is my job to try to figure out what happened. This is a huge decision. It will continue to reverberate all the way to Paris. And as a journalist, as I said, I want to see what's going on. And could it be that jealousy, rancor, anger towards Caitlin Clark and all the money she's made, and obviously a white woman in a sport that is dominated by black women? Who knows? Something potentially is going on, and I'm going to try to get to the bottom of it.
So there is a range of opinions on this, and I suppose the beauty of this story is that everybody does have an opinion. So I'd like to read you a few thoughts from Jamel Hill. She's a contributing writer for The Atlantic. She said, quote, "People need to stop panicking and putting so much weight on every single decision. The WNBA is going to have Caitlin Clark for a long time. The league isn't going to fall off a cliff if she's not on the team. And every single decision can't be about placating the optics of a round one player." She went on, "Honestly, Caitlin Clark not being on this year's Olympics team is a good thing for her. In the span of a few weeks, she went from playing college ball to becoming a professional to having a grind of a schedule. A multi-week break probably isn't the worst thing in the world. She will eventually make an Olympic team." Christine, what do you think of that perspective?
USA Basketball had the option to select her for the team.
Jamel is a good friend, and I really respect her, and we've known each other for years. Obviously, the decision to take time off or not, which Caitlin will now have because she has that 4-week break, 3-4-week break, that's her decision to make. That's not USA Basketball's. USA Basketball could have put her on the team, and she said, "No, I'm tired." It would never have happened, Don, but that's her call. So that's not what USA Basketball was deciding, obviously. And the bigger question and issue, I've covered the Olympics since 1984, and Jamel's been to one or two, but we know the power and the platform of the Olympic Games is unlike anything else in the world. Why did the NHL stop playing for all these various Olympics, literally shut down its season to have all its pros at the Winter Olympics? Why is the WNBA completely shuttering, so that its 12 players can go and play in the Olympics? It's because of the forum and the opportunity to grow.
It's going to set in for me for quite some time. I want my legacy to be the impact that I can have on young kids. I think it's, it is what it is. It's whatever they see on the videos, what they're going to call. But I think we could have responded a little better.
The WNBA game is always intense and physical, like a non-stop showdown of strength and strategy.
The WNBA game has always been physical, has always been violent. Everybody is getting fouled hard, not just Caitlin Clark, but everybody is getting fouled.
Caitlin's stepping up big time, poised to lead our squad to new heights.
Hey, Caitlin, we're watching you evolve. We're watching your game evolve a little bit, and we're seeing you become more of a vocal leader to the team.
Clark's aggressive gameplay lead to potential disciplinary action.
The question of whether Caitlin Clark faces suspension due to flagrant fouls looms large in discussions surrounding her performance. As a prominent player in her sport, Clark's aggressive style of play has occasionally led to incidents that raise concerns about potential disciplinary actions.
Caitlin's string of flagrant fouls has stirred up some serious talk about her future on the court.
Her recent accumulation of flagrant fouls has heightened speculation about her future on the court.
It's a foul. We have a technical foul on the play. Minnesota will shoot one shot, and the play will resume from the point of interruption.
You hear the announcement here.
Fans and analysts alike are closely monitoring how league officials will address these infractions, as any suspension could have significant implications for both Clark and her team's upcoming games.
Here's how Caitlin got a technical foul.
Called a transition take foul. They will, and now Clark gets a T in addition. And
yeah, okay. Certainly deserved the technical.
I'd say warrant.
When Clark got in the face of Seattle Storm guard Victoria Vivians, and the two were hit with double technical fouls, it was Clark's third technical foul in the first 9 games of her WNBA career. WNBA rules stipulate that players get suspended for a game when they receive their 7th technical foul of the season and an additional game for every other technical after that. They also receive an $800 fine.
It's a foul. We have a technical foul on the play.
Yeah, it seemed like a really pivotal point in the game in the third quarter with the Dolson challenge. Seemed like you were talking to the refs for a long time. Seemed like you disagreed with it. What were you saying to them?
I mean, I don't know. I guess they saw something differently. Obviously, AB, like it's tough when AB's in foul trouble for us. That stinks for her. Just couldn't really get her into a flow and get her on the floor much, just because she played 20 minutes just because of her foul trouble. But I thought when she was in there, she was obviously pretty effective, 3 for 4. But I think they went on a 10-0 run after that call was reversed, and it would have been an and one. So I think that just kind of shows our maturity. We have to find a way to be able to move on from that. Yeah, we didn't get the call, but we need to stop right now, because I think at that point it was a 10 or 12 point game. We weren't out of it by any means, and then we let it balloon to a 20 plus game. So I think it's, it is what it is. It's whatever they see on the videos, what they're going to call. But I think we could have responded a little better. But I think there was a few moments in the game where it was we just couldn't get it to go our way.
The reaction from folks is getting pretty toxic over it.
I think the conversation overall about Caitlin Clark and the reaction that we're seeing from a lot of people has become a bit toxic, because I think this incident is getting mushed in with how people have been playing defense on Caitlin Clark, how physical they've been on Caitlin Clark, some of the comments from some of the greats in the WNBA before Caitlin Clark got in. It's all kind of getting put into this pot of Caitlin Clark hate. And I think it's more nuanced than that. I think there are a lot of things that's happening with Caitlin Clark in the start of her career that are very normal to a lot of sports. You often see players who are in the league or players who have played before or greats have opinions about new rising stars in the league. That is not uncommon. That's not exclusive to women's sports. It's not exclusive to men's basketball. We can pull so many examples of that. You often see rookies get played very tough, get a little message shown to them, especially if they're coming into the league with a lot of hype. That also is not new. I think what is very specifically unique about this situation is we are seeing a transcendent crossover superstar come into the league and have a huge amount of buzz, of polarization, of excitement. It is translating in numbers. It is translating in ticket sales. It is translating in conversation. And overall, I think that's a good thing. I don't think that what Kennedy did is a reflection of how the entirety of the league feels. I don't think it's a reflection of how all female athletes feel. And I don't think it's a reflection of how the media feels.
I mean, there's some hate going on, right? And we all can see it. I think what Joey just talked about is important, because not everything is hate, right? I feel like sometimes if somebody does something to a player, right, that's being hated on, you just throw that right in there with it. And that's not the case. They are pushing her a certain way. I don't mind guarding a rookie, from inbound to inbound, because she is that good. She deserves that type of attention. But my thing is, when you look at this play from Kennedy, though, right, there's no basketball part of that. And the game doesn't need that in any sport. If it's basketball, women or men, there's no, you call out her name and then what is that, right? And let me help you people out for a second. Kennedy Carter is her name. I know a lot of you guys don't know who that is. She actually got drafted 4th overall, right? 2020. She's been on 3 teams so far. So a player like that's not known, that's trying to get her name out there, they do stuff like that. In the NBA, they have that. They have Dylan Brooks. They got guys like that. So I understand it, but my problem is when you talk about hate, that's hate. There's no basketball part of that in a game.
You may call it hate. What I will call it is envy. What we are seeing with Caitlin Clark is envy, and let me define it for so many of y'all, because they're human. I'm not surprised that we're seeing envy, but envy, a feeling of discontented or resentful longing aroused by someone else's possessions, qualities, or luck. With Caitlin Clark, it's not at all luck. But what we're seeing, and not generalizing, not by every WNBA player, but by some, I believe Kennedy Carter in that specific incident, is envy. Because post-game, when you go to the presser and you don't want to answer questions about Caitlin Clark, why? You answer questions about other individuals, but you don't want to answer questions about Caitlin Clark. I believe what we are seeing is envy.
It's a tough situation in WNBA, where every game's a battle of grit and hustle.
Now, it's a tough situation because the WNBA game has always been physical, has always been violent. Everybody is getting fouled hard, not just Caitlin Clark, but everybody is getting fouled. It's a very, very physical game. So I really don't know what you can do as a commissioner without really changing the game for Caitlin Clark. I don't know what you can do. But with this whole situation and watching what unfolded in this situation with Kennedy, a couple things stood out to me. Number one, I did not like Angel Reese standing up and clapping on the sideline, because it kind of lets me know that this is something that has been talked about, that is on our minds. Like, we are going to send this girl a message.
I don't really get to stand up for myself. I mean, I have great teammates. I have a great support system.
Angel Reese, a name that has dominated college basketball headlines, a player whose confidence and skills are undeniable. Yet despite her star power and viral moments, a recent surprise has left her fuming. While fans rushed to grab a jersey tied to Sophie Cunningham, a player who doesn't even share Reese's level of fame, Angel's own jersey sits overlooked. To add to the drama, this twist benefits none other than Caitlin Clark's teammate, fueling an unexpected rivalry that stretches beyond the court. When a powerhouse like Angel Reese feels overshadowed, it's more than just a jersey, it's a statement. The jersey sales controversy. Sophie Cunningham's jersey selling out so fast took a lot of people by surprise. When fans think about WNBA players with the most hype, names like Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, and even other rising stars like Cameron Brink come to mind. These are the players who dominate headlines, get millions of social media views, and have strong fan bases. But somehow, Cunningham's jersey was the one that disappeared from shelves in no time. Many people didn't expect this. Cunningham has been in the WNBA since 2019 and has a solid following, but she has never been in the same spotlight as players like Reese or Clark. So, how did this happen? Why did her jersey sell out before some of the biggest names in the game? This situation has sparked conversations, and one name that keeps coming up is Angel Reese. Reese has been one of the most talked about players in women's basketball, both for her skills and her personality. She has a massive following, and her move to the WNBA was supposed to be one of the biggest stories of the season. Yet her jersey wasn't the one flying off the shelves. That could definitely be frustrating for someone who has worked so hard to build her brand and bring attention to the league. Reese's reaction. Angel Reese is known for speaking her mind. Whether it's about respect in women's basketball, how the media covers players, or how the league promotes its stars, she's never afraid to voice her opinion. That's why some people believe she might not be happy seeing Cunningham's jersey selling out before hers. Reese has built a strong personal brand. During her time at LSU, she became one of the most marketable college athletes in the country. She had major endorsement deals, millions of social media followers, and an undeniable presence on and off the court. So it makes sense that she would expect to be one of the top-selling players in the WNBA. If her jersey isn't selling at the same level as someone like Cunningham, it could make her question why. Is it about marketing? Is it about the team she plays for? Is it about something deeper? Reese has been very vocal about how women's basketball players should get the recognition they deserve, and this situation might just add to that conversation. The role of Caitlin Clark's influence. One possible reason for Cunningham's jersey selling out could be her connection to Caitlin Clark. Clark has been the biggest name in women's basketball for the past year. Her performances in college shattered records, and her move to the WNBA has brought an insane level of attention to the league. Wherever Clark goes, excitement follows. If Cunningham is now playing alongside Clark, that alone could boost her popularity. Fans who love Clark might start paying more attention to her teammates. They might want to buy a jersey of someone who plays alongside their favorite player. This isn't the first time something like this has happened. In sports, when a superstar joins a team, the players around them often benefit. They get more media attention, more endorsement opportunities, and sometimes even their jersey sales go up. If Cunningham is experiencing this right now, it wouldn't be shocking. It just shows how powerful Clark's influence is in the league. WNBA's popularity boom and what it means for players. The WNBA is going through a massive growth period. More people are watching, more people are buying tickets, and yes, more people are buying jerseys. A lot of this can be credited to Caitlin Clark, but it's also about the overall rise of talent in the league. Players like Angel Reese, Cameron Brink, and Aaliyah Boston are bringing in new fans, and veterans like Aja Wilson and Brianna Stewart continue to shine. This growth is great for the league, but it also means certain players are going to benefit more than others. Some will get more endorsements, some will get more jersey sales, and some will see their popularity skyrocket just by being in the right place at the right time. Cunningham's jersey selling out could be a sign of how unpredictable the WNBA's new popularity wave is. It's not just the biggest stars who are getting attention. Role players and under-the-radar names are starting to gain fans in unexpected ways. Why some players sell more jerseys than others? Not every great player sells a lot of jerseys. It's not just about talent. There are a few key reasons why some jerseys sell more than others. One big factor is marketability. Some players have a certain appeal that makes fans want to buy their jerseys. This could be because of their personality, their style of play, or even their social media presence. Players who engage with fans and build a strong personal brand usually sell more jerseys. Another factor is the team's fan base. Some teams have larger, more dedicated fan bases than others. A player on a team with a strong following is more likely to have high jersey sales, even if they aren't the biggest star in the league. Media coverage also plays a huge role. The more a player is talked about on TV, in articles, and on social media, the more likely fans are to feel connected to them. If a player isn't being promoted as much by the league or the media, it can impact their jersey sales. Is Angel Reese being overlooked? It's fair to ask if Angel Reese is being overlooked in all of this. She came into the WNBA with massive hype. She was one of the most talked about players in college, and many expected her to be one of the top names in the league right away. But so far, Caitlin Clark has been the center of attention. Every game she plays in is a major event. Media outlets focus heavily on her, and her jersey sales have been through the roof. While this is great for the WNBA as a whole, it might make players like Reese feel like they aren't getting the attention they deserve. Other rookies like Cameron Brink and Aaliyah Boston are also trying to carve out their space in the league. It's clear that Clark has had the biggest impact so far, but that doesn't mean other players should be overlooked. Reese has proven that she is a star, and she has the potential to be one of the biggest names in the WNBA. Does the WNBA need to market Reese better? If Reese's jersey sales aren't as high as expected, it raises a question. Does the WNBA need to do a better job marketing her? The league has a responsibility to promote all of its stars, not just one or two players. If Reese isn't getting the same push as others, it could affect how much merchandise she sells and how much exposure she gets. There's also the issue of how race, personality, and playing style factor into marketing. Reese is outspoken. She isn't afraid to show emotion on the court, and she stands up for what she believes in. Some people love that, but others might see it differently. It's important that the league makes sure all players, no matter their personality or background, get the recognition they deserve. What's next for Angel Reese? So, what's next for Angel Reese? Can she change the narrative and become one of the top-selling players in the league? Absolutely. Reese has the talent and the personality to be a major star in the WNBA. If she has a breakout season, puts up big numbers, and helps lead her team to success, more people will take notice. That will naturally lead to more jersey sales and more attention from the media. She can also boost her marketability by continuing to engage with fans and building her personal brand. Social media plays a huge role in how players are perceived today. The more she connects with fans, the more likely they are to support her. And then there's the big question. Will she respond to all of this? Reese has never been one to stay quiet. If she feels like she's being overlooked, she might speak out about it. She could use this as motivation to prove to everyone that she deserves just as much attention as anyone else. No matter what happens, one thing is certain. Angel Reese is just getting started. Fans who support her know that she has what it takes to be one of the biggest names in the game. It's only a matter of time before the rest of the world catches on. If you enjoyed this video and want to stay updated on all the latest sports drama, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Drop a comment below with your thoughts. Whose jersey would you pick up first? Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more.
Deanna Bryant is an amazingly sweet and gentle soul. She was always thoughtful. She always kissed me goodnight and kissed me good morning.
A new video of Vanessa Bryant is making waves, and people can't stop talking about it. There's something about this footage, something no one saw coming. It's got fans shocked, confused, and searching for answers. The internet is buzzing, trying to piece everything together. What's in this clip that has everyone so stunned? The reactions are real, and the emotions are raw. Every second of this footage is fueling more questions, and the truth behind it is something no one expected. Where did the video come from? This video didn't just appear out of nowhere. It first started spreading on social media, especially on platforms like Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. At first, only a few people were talking about it, but within hours, it was everywhere. Some news outlets even picked it up, making it an even bigger deal. People started resharing the clip, adding their own thoughts, and before long, it became one of the most talked about topics online. It's not often that we see Vanessa Bryant in the spotlight like this, so naturally, fans were curious. But what exactly is in the footage? What's happening in this video that has everyone so emotional? What's happening in the footage? In this video, Vanessa Bryant is seen in a way that most people haven't seen her before. She is either attending a special event, giving a heartfelt speech, or caught in a rare, candid moment with her family. The atmosphere in the video is powerful, and you can immediately feel the weight of the moment. Maybe she is talking about Kobe. Maybe she is sharing something deeply personal. Or maybe she is just being herself, away from the media, away from the cameras, just a mother, a woman, a human being. In one part of the video, her face tells 1,000 stories. Is she smiling? Is she holding back tears? Is she showing strength like she always does? These are the things that make this footage so powerful. It's raw, it's real, and it hits differently. There's a moment in the clip where Vanessa does something that makes everyone watching pause for a second. Maybe she holds on to something that belonged to Kobe. Maybe she closes her eyes for a moment, as if remembering something. Maybe she shares a story we've never heard before. Whatever it is, it's enough to make fans emotional. Why is this video so shocking? Now, the big question. Why is this video leaving people in shock? What makes it different from all the other times we've seen Vanessa in public? For one, Vanessa has always been private. She only steps into the spotlight when it's truly necessary. Since Kobe's passing, she's been very careful about what she shares with the world. So, when a video like this suddenly appears, it naturally catches everyone's attention. People are used to seeing Vanessa as strong, composed, and private. But in this footage, there's something different. Maybe she shows more emotion than usual. Maybe she says something that people weren't expecting to hear. Or maybe, just maybe, this video shows a side of her that we've never seen before. Another reason why this video is shocking is that it goes against what many fans assumed. People often wonder how Vanessa is really doing. She doesn't share much about her personal life, so fans are left to guess. Some people think she's staying strong for her daughters. Others believe she's still grieving in silence. But this video, it might change all of that. Is she finally opening up more? Is she trying to send a message? Or is this just a rare moment that happened to be captured on camera? Did Vanessa reveal something unexpected? One of the biggest reasons this video is going viral is because it might reveal something nobody saw coming. Maybe it's something she said. Maybe it's something in her expression. Or maybe it's just the fact that she allowed this moment to be seen by the world. If she's speaking in the video, her words might hold a deeper meaning. Did she talk about Kobe in a way she never has before? Did she say something about her future that took fans by surprise? And if she's not speaking, sometimes actions speak louder than words. Did she react emotionally to something? Did she look at something in a way that told a whole story without saying a single word? Fans are analyzing every little detail. They're watching the video over and over, trying to understand what it really means. And honestly, that's what makes this footage so powerful. It's not just a video, it's a moment that's making people feel something. Does this video change what fans thought about Vanessa? Before this video, fans had their own ideas about how Vanessa was doing. Some thought she was staying strong and moving forward. Others believed she was still struggling but choosing to grieve in private. But now, this video might change everything. Maybe fans were right. Maybe they were wrong. Either way, this footage is making people see Vanessa in a new way. If she looks happy in the video, people might feel relieved. If she looks emotional, people might feel heartbroken for her. If she shares something deep, people might feel more connected to her than ever before. It's rare for Vanessa to be seen like this. That's why people can't stop talking about it. That's why it's going viral. And that's why this footage is leaving fans shocked. But the real question is, what does this video mean for Vanessa's future? Is this just a moment, or is it the start of something new? That's the part nobody knows yet. And that's why people will keep watching, keep talking, and keep wondering what's next. Does this signal a new chapter for her? Vanessa Bryant has been through so much over the past few years. Losing Kobe and Gigi changed her life forever. And since then, she has mostly stayed private, only coming out for important moments. But now, with this new footage going viral, people are wondering, does this mean something new for her? Is she slowly stepping back into the public eye? For a long time, Vanessa only spoke out when it had something to do with Kobe's legacy, their daughters, or important legal battles. She wasn't someone who posted about her daily life or made random public appearances. Everything she did had meaning behind it. But now, seeing her in this new footage, some fans think this could be a sign that she is ready to take a step forward. But the big question is, what does moving forward look like for Vanessa? Some people think she might start attending more events, maybe even sharing more about her life. Others feel like she's just having a moment, and that it doesn't necessarily mean anything big is coming. But one thing is clear. People are paying attention, and they want to know what's next for her. What's next for her and the Bryant family? Vanessa isn't just Kobe's widow. She's also a mom. And more than anything, she is focused on making sure her daughters have a good life despite their loss. Her oldest daughter, Natalia, has been stepping into the public eye more. She's modeling, going to college, and making a name for herself. Fans are wondering if Vanessa will continue to support Natalia's career in a bigger way. Maybe she'll help her with business deals, or maybe she'll start showing more of their mother-daughter moments online. Then there's Capri and Bianca, her younger daughters. They are still growing up, and Vanessa has always been protective of their privacy. But as they get older, will she start sharing more about them? Maybe we'll see them getting involved in Kobe's legacy work. Or maybe Vanessa will create something specifically for them, like a children's book about Kobe and Gigi's love for basketball. One thing is certain. Vanessa's #1 priority is her daughters. No matter what she does next, it will always be centered around them. Speculation and theories. This new footage has people wondering, does it mean something bigger? Or is it just a small moment that people are reading too much into? Some fans believe it could be part of a documentary. There have been rumors for a while now that Vanessa might be working on a film or a series about Kobe and Gigi. Could this be a sneak peek of that? Maybe she was caught on camera at a filming location, or maybe she's finally ready to share more personal footage with the world. Others think she could be writing a book. Vanessa hasn't spoken much about her grief in public, but if she were to write a book, it would be one of the most powerful and emotional stories ever told. Maybe this footage is connected to that. Another theory is that this could be a public statement in itself. Maybe Vanessa knew this moment would go viral. Maybe she wanted people to see her, to remind everyone that she's still here, still strong, still carrying Kobe's legacy forward. Or maybe, just maybe, this is nothing more than a rare moment of her simply living her life. Maybe there's no big plan, no secret project, just a woman stepping outside, smiling, and being caught on camera. And if that's the case, it's a beautiful reminder that Vanessa isn't just Kobe's widow or a public figure. She's a human being, healing in her own time, in her own way. I'd love to hear what you guys think. Do you believe this is a sign that Vanessa is ready to be more public? Or do you think people are reading too much into it? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'll be reading and replying to as many as I can. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button. It really helps the channel. Make sure you subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any updates on this story and other trending topics. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.